morning. Very well, very well. Break in the morning. Very well, very well. Break in the morning. Very well, very well. All too late, the children sleeping. Very well, very well. They be coming from every nation. Very well, very well. On their way to the great coronation. Very well, very well. Dressed in a robe, white as snow. Very well, very well. Break in the morning. 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 Very well, very well.
Fare thee well. Hi, I'm Karen Franklin with the Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company, PR PAC. I'd like to tell you a little bit about this celebration. We need it. 2020 continues to be one hell of a year. So anytime we can count our blessings, we must. This is a virtual party to highlight the artists and organizations whose talents have enhanced our community. Honorees include PR PAC founders Bill Rowland and Roy DeLemos, the late Marjorie Wilkins, photographer extraordinaire, poet and activist Jackie Warren Moore, and observing their 35th anniversary, the Syracuse Community Choir, founder and director Karen Mahaly. PR PAC and the choir have had a long-standing relationship. Collaboration on this event is a perfect example. New faces, new voices, the next generation of talent are all part of this celebration. So stay with us. To begin, Syracuse native Gregory Shepard, like Robeson, is a renowned concert bass vocalist. His many operatic roles and appearances have been heard throughout the United States, Europe, and Canada. Earlier this year, he performed locally, and he's allowing us to share an excerpt of that recital.
So Paul Robeson was an activist. He wasn't just a cultural icon. He was an icon because of his commitment to social justice and people who were marginalized. Even after his career was stalled because he was blacklisted, he continued to fight for the injustices of all people.
The gospel train am a coming, I hear it just at hand. I hear those cartwheels rolling and rumbling through the land. Then get on board, little children, get on board, little children, get on board, little children. There's room for many or more. I see the train a-coming, she's coming around the curve. She's loosening all her steam and brakes and crushing every nerve. So get on board, little children, get on board, little children, get on board, little children. There's room for many or more. The fare is cheap and all can go, no difference in the fare. The rich and poor can join you there, no difference in the fare. Then get on board, little children, get on board, little children, get on board, little children. There's room for many or more.
Who is Paul Robeson, you ask? Our company stands on the shoulders of this 20th century African American. Scholar, artist, outspoken humanitarian, who endured years of violence and injustices, but never wavered from being a voice of the people, all people.
Paul Robeson was a celebrated actor in the United States and Europe. One role that garnered him acclaim was the title role in Shakespeare's Othello. 20 curtain calls were given to Robeson when he opened at the Savoy Theatre in London. Here is a modern interpretation of Othello by Al Marshall.
Soft you a word or two before you go? I have done the state some service, and they know it. No more of that. I pray you in your letters, when you shall these unlucky deeds relate, speak of me as I am, nothing extenuate, nor set down out in malice. Then you must speak of one who loved, not wisely, but too well. Of one not easily jealous, but
being wronged. Set you down this, and say besides, that in Aleppo once, where a malignant and a turbaned Turk beat a Venetian and traduced the state, I took by the throat the damned heathen dog, and smote him
thus.
I kiss thee.
Ere I killed thee. No way but this. Killing myself to die upon a kiss.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from home, a long way from home. Wade in the waters, wade in the waters, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Well, who are these children all dressed in red? God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the children that Moses led. God's gonna trouble the water. Jordan's water is chilly and cold. God's gonna trouble the water. It chills my body, but not my soul. God's gonna trouble the water. Come on and wade in the water. Wade in the water, children, wade cast them blue. God's gonna trouble the water. Must be the people, see them through. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
It's been a strange time to have a 35th anniversary during the COVID crisis, and we've been trying to think about how to move forward with our vision. We can't sing together, but we're continuing to put out music that moves the world forward, and we are determined to be here when we are able to sing together again. So our 35th anniversary is more like deepening our roots and saying, we're here, we're going to stay, we're going to weather this, and we're going to stay close with our friends like Paul Robeson, and hopefully shoulder to shoulder we'll find our resilience and continue.
We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle around to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. We shall be known by the company we keep, by the ones who circle round to tend these fires. We shall be known by the ones who sow and reap the seeds of change, alive from deep within the earth. It is time now. It is time now that we thrive. It is time we lead ourselves into the well. It is time now, and what a time to be alive. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love. In this great turning we shall learn to lead in love.
The Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company and the Syracuse Community Choir have been blessed by the talents of our honorees. They've left an indelible mark on this community. So we highlight them, we honor them in pictures, remembrances, and their own words.
In this choir, our vision was a safe, inclusive place for anyone to sing that sings songs that promote peace and justice and that work to create a better world.
Over 70 voices of people from all walks of life, talents, and abilities make up the Syracuse Community Choir. Karen Mahaly is its founder and director. She wanted to provide a place for everyone to sing music that provides inspiration for this changing world.
The difference in this choir was that everyone would be included. Art is a right, that creation and art is a right, like anything else. Anyone should have the opportunity to create together.
Well, I don't think there's anybody who ever knew Mrs. Wilkins who doesn't feel a greater sense of love in the world. She was brilliantly talented and a force of nature and filled with love.
It's been said of the late, great Marjorie Wilkins, and I quote, "She has captured, lovingly captured, through her photographs, the life of this African American community for well over 6 decades. Her public exhibitions have been seen in venues like Art Rage Gallery, Community Folk Arts Center, Syracuse Stage, the Beecham Library. For over 26 years, she was the company photographer for the Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company, and she documented a myriad of other artistic and cultural groups, like the Syracuse Community Choir.
My younger daughter, Emma, will still say, "You know, Mom, when I was little, I thought Miss Wilkins was my grandma." I think there are a lot of people who feel that way because she treated you like family. She treated you with such love. She was an amazing woman.
Her gentleness of spirit, the light in her eyes, were reflected in her photography. A true treasure among us. In 1982, William H. Rowland II and Roy E. DeLamos had a vision to create a performing arts company that would serve as an artistic and cultural outlet for the Black community. The result? A sound repertory company that produced large-scale Black-themed productions like The Wiz and Motown Revue. A company that conducted workshops and seminars to encourage the development of performance and technical skills in youngsters and adults as well. They named it the Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company.
I have worked with Paul Robeson for many, many years. We integrated professional artists with student artists and with community artists, and it was a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. We also had an arts experience summer camp where we worked with the youth, and we provided youth opportunity to express their creative selves in a number of capacities. It is such a jewel for the Central New York area.
Jackie Warren Moore is a poet, a playwright, a theatrical director, an actor, a teacher, and a freelance writer. Her work has been published nationally and internationally. She is a force to be reckoned with in both our companies and in the community at large.
Well, Jackie is just a phenomenal poet, like our poet laureate, I would say, of the city. So anytime she appeared with us, it was amazing.
Jackie says, "I believe I have an obligation to speak up and celebrate what is right in the world, and to shout out about what is wrong in the world, in the hopes that we may all work together to make it right for us all."
She actually performed a couple years ago. She performed with us.
We welcome our own poet laureate, actor, playwright, director, and longtime friend of the choir, Jackie Warren Moore. And she will be reading the words of Paul Robeson.
I gave 2-penny concerts for the workers. And at those concerts, I talked. I kept talking. People began saying, "What's happening to Robeson? Why doesn't he just sing?" Lady Barclay's friends put it more eloquently. They said, "Paul, if you want to stay going on living in England, why don't you just shut up?" Desist? Desist? Desist from what? My concerts or my talking during my concerts? I see. What if I choose not to? As long as there are issues to be addressed, I must seek platforms from which to address them. So I went to Africa. I walked the land of my ancestors. My pride in Africa grew with my learning. It impelled me to speak out again against the scorners of African culture and African self-determination. As I moved across Africa, I wrote articles and sent them back to Britain, publications, and American periodicals. As I moved, the colonial arm of the British intelligence moved with me, and they cautioned me. Here was the white man in the land of my ancestors cautioning me, telling me that I was a guest, proclaiming, as it were, that I was an intruder. I moved among the people, talked with them, bathed myself in the eternal rivers that once bathed my fathers, breathed the air that circulated back through the centuries, warmed myself in the hot, hot African sun. One evening, on my way home to America, I walked out on the deck and stood there alone in the cold moonlit night, looking out over the dark Atlantic. I could feel the chill rising up from the cold sea. It seemed that I was shivering inside. I could feel a chill inside my body, beyond my flesh and bone, even beyond my blood. The large white waves rose up and under and struck the ship in the bow and then fell back into the sea. Over and over and over again, they struck the bow and fell back into the sea. And I could hear in those large white waves the wail of men, women, and children, slaves who had been cast into the sea along the route of the Middle Passage. The sea was giving up its dead to me. And at that moment, I knew what my voice was. I knew what those low basso notes were, the wails of all their voices rising up through me from the bottom of the sea. I knew at that moment that I had to use that voice wherever there were those who want to hear the melody of freedom, or who hear the words that might inspire hope and courage in the face of despair and fear. The years are falling into place now. I have discovered there are two forces in the world, evil and the struggle against evil. And where I have found evil, I have struggled against it. And it has been that struggle that has kept my hope alive, my hope for America, my hope for all the nations of the world. Other men and women are carrying on my work. May their lights shine, bringing love and brotherness to all mankind.
In light of what has been going on in this country as it relates to racism and injustice, as an artist, I felt obligated to use my platform, my voice, my talent to memorialize those we have lost due to police brutality. So my friends and I, we said their names.
Can anybody here answer this one question? Can you tell me why they're gone? We scream Black Lives Matter. All these people died young. We looked around and they were gone. anybody here seen my young son Emmett? Can you tell me where he's gone? He's helped a lot of people. My son Emmett died young. I looked around and he was gone.
Say their names.
Has anybody here seen my young son Trayvon? Can you tell me why he's gone? Skittles in Arizona, my son Trayvon died young.
His only crime was walking while
I
drunk.
looked around, he too was gone. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Say their names.
Has anybody here seen my young son, my Brown? Can you tell me what he's done to deserve those 6 shots in his back? My son, my Brown died young. I looked around and he was gone.
I'm Charles Anderson, and I've had the honor of portraying Paul Robeson in many of our productions. The Paul Robeson Performing Arts Company and the Syracuse Community Choir have cultivated a decades-long relationship, and through theater and music, we continue to shine a light on injustices. As we approach the conclusion of this community celebration, we want to echo some of Robeson's most quotable quotes. While not always easy, we have the choice to give voice or not. What did Robeson say?
To be free, to walk the good American earth as equal citizens, to live without fear, to enjoy the fruits of our toil, to give our children every opportunity in life. That dream which we held so long in our hearts is today the destiny that we hold in our hands.
The faces and the tactics of leaders, they may change every 4 years, or every 2, or every 1, but the people never change. The people, beaten down today and rising up tomorrow, losing the road 1 minute and finding it the next. Their eyes always fixed on the star of a true brotherhood, equality, and dignity. The people are the real guardians of our dreams.
The question is whether American citizens, regardless of their political belief and sympathies, can enjoy their constitutional rights. This is our home. This is our country. Beneath its soil lie bones of our fathers. For it, some have fought, bled, and died. Here we were born, and here we will stay.
We must realize that our future lies chiefly in our own hands. Through my singing and acting and speaking, I want to make freedom ring. Maybe I can touch people's hearts better than I can in their minds with the common struggle of the common man.
We ask for nothing that is not right, and herein lies the power of our great demand.
As an artist, I come to sing. But as a citizen, I always speak for peace, and no one can silence me in this. I shall take my voice wherever there are those who want to hear the melody of freedom, or the words that might inspire hope and courage in the face of fear.
Thank you for being with us. There are so many wonderful PR PAC and community choir partners we didn't have an opportunity to acknowledge, but please know we love you and appreciate every opportunity we've had to create artistically together. Enjoy your day or evening, everyone. And remember, your ongoing support is greatly appreciated. So please donate if you can. Go to theprpac.org and locate our donate button. This celebration can be seen again on YouTube later this evening. Stay safe.
Chariot along, but you must hang on behind. Roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, roll the old chariot along, and you must hang on behind. Now if your preacher's in the way, roll right over. If your preacher's in the way, roll right over. If your preacher's in the way, roll right over, but you must hang on.